I think we might see Aeon versus Sarah
Maybe.
again. No, Aeon Mirror.
Aeon Mirror, okay. I mean, Styron is also fine here simply because of the frigates, of course.
Although I would expect it's definitely vetoed this time around. Because you can just build Cybern frigates to victory. There are many raidable mexes along the outskirts of the map.
Yes, this is the map where Cybern is quite strong, and it's like the thing is with some of the Aeon is still good, but only later, like once it goes into the Text 2 stage. But Cybern frigates, they just never really go out of date on this map, and you just spam the 1 unit and it works. I mean, so an Aeon mirror matchup. It's sad that it's a mirror matchup.
Well, we're allowed to have some mirror matchups, Farms. Faction Veto is not getting rid of all of them.
I know. It's better than a few years ago, I think.
Well, yeah, that was just the meta to auto-mirror your opponent, no matter what.
Yeah, that was a bit bad. But yeah, this is...
I don't know, do you know if that's a problem in, like, any other RTS?
No, that's not really the case with how it works. Like in FAF, factions are similar enough that you can easily play them. In StarCraft, for example, you can only play one faction basically at the same level, at the skill level you're at. Like if the top guy picks a faction that he normally doesn't play, he's not gonna be top guy level with that faction, and so he won't win.
Yeah, but I'm wondering, there's a lot of RTS out there. There's got to be one, right?
Age of Empires 2 is, I mean, that's everyone can play every faction, so it's kind of similar in that way. But there you also have enough factions there, or that's, I don't know, 20, 30 or something, that you basically do like both of you pick like 5 different factions, and you can only use those 5 in the tournament on the maps, and your opponent can't have the same as you. I think that's how it works. So you don't have any mirror matchups.
Ah, I see.
I think.
So it's not allowed.
That might be a guess. I don't really know. But
chat can confirm.
At least I don't remember seeing any mirror matchups in AoE 2. That's why I'm making this estimate. Okay, so quick scouts from Yudi into an Inti into a transport, so that's pretty common. Turbo does 1 extra scouts and Inti into the transport. He actually went for a quick second air factory, faster than Yudi, but Yudi got the transport out faster, so kind of fine. This Inti of Yudi, I think he locked Turbo's Inti, but Turbo already has the second Inti out and a third almost, so Yudi will just kind of suicide his Inti. Also, he made a smart move by continuing south. He knew that he couldn't overstay his welcome, and this is actually a good distraction because Yudi is just dropping his own transports out, and you know the early Intis from Turbo, you're kind of.
They didn't accomplish stopping this drop, which is the most important thing. It's going to basically drop whatever it wants, be completely uncontested, and Turbo is just leaving the base now.
Oh, that was lucky. Turbo did lock Yudi's Inti at the bottom, and I was looking at it, and before he killed it, Turbo already selected the Inti and gave it a new command to Yudi's base. And and the last shot before he left Yudi's Inti alone killed Yudi's Inti. Which is it's so common to lock a unit with an air unit, and then you do something else, and you accidentally just give it a new order. And then you don't kill it in the end, and that's and that almost happens, but didn't quite happen.
Turbo
so Yudi's a bit faster on the expansion. He is behind on air as a result. He only has 3 Intis compared to 4 Intis and a bomber from Turbo. Turbo, though, has less mass, of course. He is actually experiencing that. He's stalling a bit of mass because Yudi has 4 more maxes and got the reclaim.
But bomber will come out. Perhaps we'll deny the Hydro?
Oh, that's
no!
A decent bomber. It won't deny the Hydro, but it will kill those 2 engineers. Important to note that Turbo did drop like his engineers a bit further as well, so he will be faster on the mexes on the edge of his second island.
Yeah, and actually a second bomber coming up to continue the harassment of this position. But inties from Yudi should be able to clean this all up. Eventually.
Yes, I like how he tried to retreat at one bomber after killing 3 engineers. Although his own inties weren't exactly in position to try to snipe Yudi's inties that might have blocked, because sometimes you can debate your enemy's air with that. Just do one bomb, retreat the bomber. Enemy would have right-clicked it, expecting it to stay there bombing, but then they just follow it into nowhere, and there's an ambush of enemy inties lying there. But it didn't happen in this particular instance.
So we're gonna
There's
see
stick to air on the way from Turbo, 30%.
Yeah, Turbo has a bit less power, so he needs that T2 Pigeon as soon as possible. Well, Yudi is going to do the more traditional thing and walk his ACU south. It's a bit late, but it will get there and probably be able to deny some of the mexes.
Yeah, the only function of that is to just try to deny your opponent a couple hundred of mass, especially as Aeon. If you don't plan to go for an ACU drop, it's you might as well do this, right? You get some value out of the ACU that otherwise would have kind of done nothing in your base, but at the other hand, you kind of deny yourself the opportunity to go any com drop, and like we saw in some certain games yesterday, com drops on Pelagial can be pretty strong.
Those were pretty nice dodges out from Yudi, but Turbo will scout this transport that's going to just basically be an expanding transport on his own local island.
They're countering each other's transports with their own transport to the left.
The transports will fight. Actually, no, this transport's going to try to drop the back of Turbo's base and steal the mexes there.
That's kind of nice, actually. That's very similar to the Roanoke strategy.
They will pass each other and scout each other's transport.
Unfortunately, wait, neither of them locked the transports though. It was only split seconds when they were visible. Yudi does have a radar though on the left side, so the transport is in radar range. He did move his inties just now, yeah, he locked the transport, but it should be able to drop there. So they're both gonna do the exact same thing with the transport and try to steal some mexes.
Oh, but he only drops one, and Yudi gets the reclaim mortar out. So this will be successfully defended by Yudi, as this transport is definitely going to die.
And it's, you have to take in mind, it's not very expensive, but it's not cheap either. Transport and for engineers, that's like 300 mass. So you need to get some investment out of it if possible. Although Yudi drops 3 engineers at one location. Like, 1 engineer should have been fine, right? Like, there was no need for 3 engineers here, for example. Like, you can just drop 1 engineer and then hide the transport at the bottom left corner. Just go for another drop later, right?
The man just wants to capture mexes as fast as humanly possible. He's splitting up the engies. They're each capturing 1 mex. Turbo has a bomber, but it's been busy fighting this frigate.
Yeah, so Yudi is trying to do a bit of raiding with frigates. He's a bit more aggressive than Turbo is. He's getting a mex on the right side. Of course, he captured those 2 mexes on the left. So he actually gets the reclaim command on Turbo's engineer that's trying to get tech there.
Oh, that's a bit demoralizing.
Yeah, that's a bit annoying, but there's a bomber out and it should be able to clean up the engineers.
Oh? Com drop time?
Oh, pick 2 on the way.
I think it's com drop time. Yudi.
I mean, it's honestly not that surprising. They both have tech to air and Swifties though, and it's way easier for Swifties to deal with the com drop than it is for Inties.
Look at this though.
Speed is very important.
PD before second Pigeon. The man is giving respect to the threat of com drop right now.
Kinda is, yeah.
And I like it. I think it's good. Like, this is very scary. He saw Turbo did com drops low into the main base, and that did work.
Although he also, considering he saw the game, he has to keep in mind that it's also a clear possibility that he will just com drop the top left island. But as I said as well, like, there's Swifties out, and Swifties are a lot faster, so com dropping is a lot more dangerous in an Aeon mirror matchup.
And we're gonna see Yudi walk home. Like, he's done being harassed by the Team 1 tanks and doesn't want, 3 random mercies or a bunch of random mercies to just come and kill him. That'd be really unfortunate.
So funnily enough, because it is an Aeon mirror matchup, like frigates don't have AA, so there's...
Turbo, what are you doing?
Oh, there's a big airfight, and Yudi loses 2 Swifties right off the bat. Yudi kinda got caught out of position, but he will still win anyway.
Yudi had just so much more! Why did Turbo engage? I don't understand.
I mean, he kinda caught Yudi out of position, but numbers were still too much.
Now he really can't drop, like, he's gotta build a flak in his base.
Turbo only has his Tech 2 air HQ, but Yudi has that and has 2 Tech 2 support factories, and he has way more build power, and he's making a 3rd support factory. So Yudi is all in on air spam, and he's also on 15 more mass income at the moment. He's been that way quite a bit. So the counter from Turbo is not gonna work.
I mean, it's scouted quite extensively.
Yeah, and Turbo invested more into Navy, but because it's an Aeon mirror matchup, frigates don't have AA, and if you just go for air-only spam, it is extremely easy to just deal with any Navy, because aside from cruisers and shards, God forbid, nothing will be able to deal with the air.
Yeah, just look at this. The gunships are going to kill every single outlying mechs, and perhaps this entire right island.
Yeah, the gunships are gonna be doing insane damage. Although Yudi shouldn't stay here with his air for too long. I think he will lose more than he will gain. Because, like, you can snipe those tech bomb mechs, but there's, like, he still loses some air to the AA, and those mechs can be rebuilt easily. But yeah, this doesn't look good for Turbo at all. He did do some Aurora drop on the right side of Yudi's islands, but a Spectre does clean it up. There's some nice frigate raids as well in the northwest islands for Turbo. I think Yudi, yeah, he's already building a few torpedo bombers. Just a few, just attack moves. Because the thing is, if the opponent is Siren or something, a few random torpedo bombers, they don't work, they just die to the frigates. But for Aeon, you can just have 1 torpedo bomb. Oh, is he already giving up?
Turbo's gonna call it here. Yeah. It's completely lost. The gunships are killing everything. There is no solution.
Yeah, it's true.
The frigates are doing some nice harass, but that doesn't matter. Yudi is so far ahead, both in T2 max count and in air production, that Turbo will never be able to successfully get back into air.
The issue is they both went for the air strategy,